Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor, and we are back once again in King's Gondor, ready to continue our journey through the expansion. So you will remember at the end of last episode, we have basically completed all quests we could find in Dornach, right here. No, that's not it, sorry. So we are missing just one quest, and I did check, but well, the expansion is really just released, so there is not a lot of information about available quests. But I was checking here in the quest log, and this quest in here is still listed under the Dornach category, so I'm hoping that when we get to complete this quest, that will complete the deed for us. And with that idea in mind, I think our next stop will be continuing our journey north towards the Ringló Vale, see what we find in there. Now, it's been a few days for me since last time I recorded, because, well, my wife got a little bit sick. We had to do a quick run to the hospital, nothing to worry about, thankfully, but that did take, of course, most of my time during last week, and that's why I haven't been able to record as much. So I figured I might as well take a break from recording and take a break from playing as well, to look after my wife, and that would also give me some time to wait until some of the rough edges of the expansion could be polished. So in between the last episode and this one, we had the release of update 38.0.1, which did in fact help with most of the issues that we saw upon release, the essence boxes, the Flame of Ancalamir, and task quests, and some epic and landscape quests that were disabled. And in between these two episodes, there was also a forum post stating the plans to expand the endgame content on the expansion with a patch that would come on December the 6th, that will add some more quests, and that will add some more dailies and missions, and expand the allegiances in Umbar. So it's a really weird way in which they have chosen to do the end game for this expansion, but we'll see how this goes. And to be honest with you, I really don't mind that much, but it makes me wonder, how can I create the content and still continue or progress through the story linearly if we are getting some of these pieces chunk by chunk. So I'm not sure how that's gonna work out. Hopefully the new quests that will be added in future updates will really not affect the flow of the storyline so much, but that is something that we'll need to double check when we get to that point, of course. For the time being, here we are back in the Ringló Vale in Ethring. We have a new deed, and here we have Caebar as well. A villager of Ethring glares at you and Caebar with distrust. We'll see why in just a moment. Here we have another explorer deed: Ethring, Elendoth, the Lumber Camp, Darmatum, Grishru, and Vault Halls. And all these names ring a bell except the last one. So hopefully we'll get that explorer deed done really easy as well.
So you're back, Caebar. Now that Ethring doesn't need you, your mother will weep to hear it.
And who is this stranger? You have the look of an elf friend, and that is not a popular thing to resemble in these days. What do you mean? When I came here from West Gondor, when I came here from Lamedan, you were all so glad to have me and to help you defend the village. And now I get this reception? You have some explaining to do, lady.
Caebar left us to make his own way in the world.
He could have returned when war seemed unavoidable, but instead he left his mother to fend for herself. Poor Cyrdius is fortunate that her brother was here to take care of her, and the rest of the town did what we could. Where was Caebar when the skies turned dark and the sun never rose? He was away in the White City, feasting and drinking fine wine while the rest of us suffered. He spared not a thought for Ethring, and now when things are good, he wants to return? Let him try, that's what I say. We have not forgotten.
It is true that I left home before war seemed certain, but...
How could I have known how bad things would get? I worried about home every day. Caebar cast his eyes to the ground. I should have come back before now. My family and my friends had to endure the darkness out and sent before his armies, just as I did. But they had to do it without the armies of Minas Tirith near at hand. I understand why Oilin is upset. I should go to see my mother, Beriathan. Our house, her house, is to the north, across the bridge and to the right. Don't be so harsh on yourself, Caebar, and we'll see how we can figure this out.
The shadow of war is now behind us, and Gondor rejoices.
Alright, so here we have all the stable master locations for the entirety of King's Gondor, so that would be Dornach and Ringló Vale and the rest of West Gondor, it seems. What do we have here? Ah, the wood.
You must be from Path Rest looking for the lumber.
Who are you? Beriathan? Oh, you must be from Path Rest looking for the lumber. Look, I know nothing, but I would look for Dervorin. As Lord of the Vale, he should be able to help you with your inquiry. We're gonna meet with Dervorin, it seems, so that would be great. Let me grab the milestone. And let's start looking for... Oh, Arbathor and Dervorin! Oh, so good to see you all, guys.
Another has come looking for their lumber, I presume.
Wait, is that you, Beriathan? Awesome! Oh, and that was right. That helped us to complete the quests of Dornach renewed. We got a Teal Treasury token. That is awesome as well. So we have completed the deed. So we have some titles on Virtue XP. Wit is level 87. Cool. Awesome. Aid to Dornach. You have done much to aid the people of Dornach in the renewal of Gondor, and now we have the meta deed. So we have to complete the Ringló Vale, Lamedan, Belfalas, and Blackroot Vale. So yeah, we are almost there.
My friend, I have not set eyes upon you since our time together at Minas Tirith.
That was a long time ago.
I'm glad to have been proven wrong.
Yeah, I'm not dead. Don't you worry about me. I returned home safe some weeks ago and have been dealing with a frustration ever since. I don't know if you are aware that the Ringló Vale produces much of the timber used in Gondor. Yet, I arrived home only to find that the nearby lumber camp has been lying idle. I tried to speak to the owner of the camp, a surly man named Davron, but he's only offered middling excuses. I could step in as acting Lord of the Vale, but I am loath to wield my power so heavy-handedly. At least not yet. Say, you're a fine conversationalist. Perhaps he would be more open with you than he would me. Find a camp up the hill northeast from Ethring. See if he'll tell you why he's dragging his feet up there. Us, of course. Anything for you, Arbathor.
How have I been?
Welcome back to the Vale, my friend.
Many of our fighting men have returned home. The luckiest have adjusted to the peace. Others have brought the war home with them. Lyrind and I are doing our best.
I must thank you for looking after Dervorin at Minas Tirith and beyond. The tales he tells of those battles still the rhythm of my heart. It does me good to know a hero such as yourself was there on the field with him. But speaking of family, my father Borhador would love to see you. Now that it's no longer overrun with spiders, he spends much of his time at the Beacon of Aelendoth. You can find him there. How have I been? Since the war ended, many of our fighting men have returned home. The luckiest have adjusted to the peace. Others have brought the war home with them. Lyrind and I are doing our best to help. It is difficult work, distressing at times, but better than dealing with the dead again. Okay, this idea I really enjoy as well, because we did get a little glimpse of this during our time in East King's Gondor, and that is the fact that some of the soldiers that survived the war have nonetheless remained scarred. And even though they are back at peace, they still need to deal with all that happened during the war. It's basically PST. And I'm glad that the game is dealing with this, not only because it's reasonable considering everything all these guys have been through, but I think it will also open up very interesting storytelling possibilities, and I'm really looking forward to see what they do with this. Hopefully something interesting. A man stands in front of the door to see if this is home.
She doesn't want to see you, Caebar.
You had better find somewhere else to go. Carlon looks at you appraisingly. You're with the new king just as Caebar seems to be? You can keep moving, same as my nephew. We here in Ethring know the elves are behind putting this LSR on the throne, and we're not going to let them interfere with life in the Ringló Vale. When Caebar left, it broke his mother's heart. But it broke again when he became a puppet of the elves. She doesn't want to see him. My uncle Carlong may be right about me, but he is wrong about the king. King Elazar is a good man, and he wants what is best for Gondor. Yeah, I can vouch for the king as well. I don't have time to be upset about this, Beriathan. I was given a task by my king, and I am going to see it done. Let us do what we can for the folk of Ethring, and perhaps my mother and my uncle will see that King Elazar is not a pawn of the elves, or of anyone else. She stares at you with cold eyes and refuses to say anything. Alright, you're playing hard to get, I guess. What about you? He murmurs that the best way to help Ethring is for you to leave. That's a little bit harsh. Lighting! Okay, hopefully you and I will get to talk soon. She glares at you suspiciously and says nothing. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Should have seen this coming. Did anyone want our help, Beriathan? Caebar appears more defeated than you have ever seen him, and you ask what has happened. I told my uncle I would leave, if that is what my mother truly wants, but that I would like to retrieve some of the sketches I had left inside when I departed for Minas Tirith. He said when I was gone, my mother burned them all. Caebar sighs heavily and raises his head. There is nothing left for me here, and the king and queen have not arrived. We should move on to Calembel. The king said he might rejoin us in Lamedon. My god, poor Caebar. I gotta say, I have been enjoying his sketches so far, what we have seen of them, and I was really looking forward to seeing more of his work. And to be honest with you, it also seems, I think I have already discussed this idea with you on the channel, the idea of Chekhov's gun. So according to Chekhov, if you place a gun in the storyline, it's because you plan to use that later. It's not something gratuitous. So I have the feeling that Caebar's sketches are some sort of a Chekhov's gun, because they have been heavily used in the story so far. The sketch of Kolthek, I believe it was, from the Kindred of the Coins, the sketch we saw of Baratril before it was destroyed. So yeah, I think at some point those sketches will be more useful and more important than we have seen so far. Needed Spider Slayer of Western King's Gondor, that's what I thought. I would get another one of these, 60 spiders, not so bad. Ringló Scout, what about you? Oh, come on. And once again, I gotta say I have been enjoying the music here in King's Gondor a lot. How it rearranges some of the tunes we heard when Gondor was newly released. And how it's adding some of its own stuff. The music so far has been great, and well, you couldn't hear it, but right before I started recording the episode, there was this music, this song in in part rest that, oh my god, was so amazing that it truly blew me away. Now we have arrived at the beacon, and then we're gonna talk to Borjador in just a moment, but take a look at this. How can you not love this, right? So, Beacon of Aelendoth. Borjador, you are here, so what do you say?
How may I help you, friend?
I do not remember much these days, but I remember you, Borjador says by way of greeting. His voice trembles and he has given up on stilling the tremor in his hands, but his spirit is brighter than you have seen before. Have you seen my sons? I'm very proud of them. I was afraid that when Dervorin came home and he and Arvaethor would quarrel over the lordship of the Vale, but it is as if the thought never crossed their minds. It does me good to see them working so hard for the people we are charged to protect. Oh, and Lyrin too, of course. She reminds me of my Halwyn sometimes, yes, with her cleverness and fortitude. I am glad my Arvaethor has found a remarkable partner in her. If only Dervorin would settle down with someone. Are you wet? Forgive me, I do tend to ramble, a symptom of my age, no doubt. The awareness in his eyes flickers and he falls silent. He looks through you for a few long moments until some spark brings him back to the present. I remember that the last time you were here, the sky was so very angry. Now look at it. Look upon the beauty of the Vale in kinder light. Look upon Ethring as it was meant to be seen. Yeah, I do agree with you. And I gotta admit, didn't think too much of Ethring when I first came here, but seeing Ethring like this is... You get why the people love the town so much. It's a very cozy place. Where can I get a good look of Ethring? My god. I mean, we have at least some guidance with a map. This is a good place from which to look at southern Ringló Vale. A lush forest looks back at you. Yeah. And this forest looks great as well. And now we just need to find a place, a vantage point to take a look at Ethring. Which I have a feeling is not as easy as it sounds. But I have no idea why. I mean, it's right there. I really don't know where do you want me to go for this glimpse of the town, and I haven't been able to locate an NPC that might give you a hint as to the right location like we just did with the other one. This is a good place from which to look at Ethring. Yeah, sure, if you say so. I think my vantage point was a little bit better. Ethring looks peaceful, nestled in the heart of the Vale. Well, at least I got it. I was about to run all the way back to the town, so...
How may I help you, friend?
It's beautiful, isn't it? I do not have much time left. Oh, do not give me that look. I have lived a long and kind life. I have loved and been loved, and I have the privilege of passing in a time of peace. That is more than most can claim. If fate were to indulge me, this view would be the last thing I'd see before I go. That's kinda sad. Now we got a new deed. Quests of the Ringló Vale renewed. Once again, 12 of these. So... we're making some good progress in here. Just let me take a picture of Borjador. That should be enough. With this we can go back to the town, I guess, and then move on to the lumber camp. Now, I don't know about you, I'm going back to the discussion about Caebar we had before, but it's a little suspicious as well that his mother doesn't want to come out. You ask me, it's just as likely the town is hiding something from him. Maybe his mother died waiting for him, but he died hoping to see him again instead of hating him. And maybe the sketches are still there somewhere. I don't know, I still want to see the sketches. And of course, we cannot forget about the fact that there is a spy in the King's Court and everyone is a suspect unless proven otherwise. Well, almost everyone. I mean, Gimli and Legolas, of course, are out of the question. I think Rosaran is also out of the question as well, because we have met him before and we know what kind of man he is. But other than that, every single one of them could be the culprit. So I'm not ruling out Caebar. And as a matter of fact, I think it would also... the importance that they have been giving Caebar so far in the storyline could also point to him being the traitor and be building up towards a big reveal later on in the storyline. That is still a possibility. And maybe the sketches will help us find that somehow, or maybe he is not a traitor, but his sketches can still give us a clue on that regard. I don't know. Once again, all this that we have been experiencing so far in the epic after we left Furuksahar, that's not gratuitous, that's not just for the sake of paddling alone. I am quite certain there's something else going on behind the scenes, and we will be able to see the full picture about it later down the road, hopefully soon. You have discovered the lumber camp. Okay.
How may I help you, friend?
Huh. Dervorin wishes to know why lumber camp has not been leaving this camp? It is because it's not profitable enough for me to send any. The longer I withhold the product of this forest, the more the price of it will increase. Only when it is guaranteed to make me wealthier than the Lord of the Vale himself will I begin to sell. What gives me the right? My family holds a claim to this land for an agreement with the Lord of the Vale from generations ago. Dervorin is welcome to revoke it, but without cause, he will lose face. Go tell him that I will operate my lumber camp as I see fit. And let me ask you a question. Isn't this reason enough? I mean, you have admitted that you are just a greedy man and you shouldn't be trusted with this. So, I know, if you ask me, this is reason enough to take the lumber camp away from you and give it to somebody who will be willing to help his people. Oh my god, I pulled a bear. Oh my god, this bear is super strong. Well, at this point it's you or me, buddy. It's not gonna be me. But that teaches us a valuable lesson, and that is avoid the bears as much as you can. They don't advance any deed, and they are super strong, so you're just wasting your time. Unless you are farming hides, which is reasonable enough. And at some point I will need to level up my tailor anyway. But I'm hoping I will be able to get all the mats I need just by leveling naturally instead of farming, so not worrying about crafting materials yet. Besides, there's not a lot to do with crafting yet. Some yellow recipes. With the update on December 6th, we will get the crafting guild. And from what I understand, we will also get the recipes to start upgrading the gear we craft. But until then, I will not worry too much about it.
He claims to own the land itself per an agreement with my forebears? I find this suspicious.
Awesome. Let's dick into
I
this.
do not believe for a single moment that the lout's claim to that land is legitimate. But as disagreeable as he may be, I cannot discount it without proof.
Let us go to the crossing hall where my family keeps the records of important goings on here in the Vale. We can evaluate his claim against what is contained within those ledgers. Sure. Count me in. Now I'm just grabbing some of the task items because once again, task items have been fixed with the last update as well, and that is good. For when we eventually find a task board, which is not yet. Old record book. Okay, here we go. The book contains records of many transactions, none of it to do with land or property. And what about this one? This book appears to be a personal journal of one of Dervorin's ancestors. Best leave it unread. After poring over line after line of near indecipherable script, you discover that Dravron's claim is valid. It seems that Dervorin must find a new course of action if he wishes to dislodge Dravron from the lumber camp.
Are you sure? Are you absolutely, completely, and irreproachably sure? Of course, I do not mean to second-guess your abilities, but could you check again? No, wait, don't. I apologize. I simply struggle to comprehend how such a brazen, selfish man could have any legitimacy whatsoever.
This is an unfortunate turn of events, but we must not lose heart. Allow me to take a moment to clear my head. Meet me outside in Ethring later. Perhaps I will have thought of a new strategy by then.
Dravron must have dealings with the people here in Ethring. Perhaps they know something that we can use against him.
Some of the lumber camp's laborers are in town. Perhaps they have information they can share about their boss. The tax collector might have insight into Dravron's finances that could be of help. You didn't see any horses at the lumber camp. Perhaps Davron hires them from the local stable masters. Speak to him and see if he has anything to share about Davron. My god, what a complicated name. Please stop making me say it because I have the feeling I'm making a fool of myself.
How may I help you, friend?
The tax records for the lumber camp. There are no tax records. They haven't done any business yet. They should get to it though. Gondor won't rebuild itself out of nothing. Yeah, and we all want to see Gondor revealed. The king as well, even if some people might think otherwise. Stable hand.
How may I help you, friend?
I've had some dealings with the man, but not many. He has hired horses to carry lumber out of the Vale. How many times? Maybe once every other week, if that. Really?
These are troublesome times indeed.
The man's face turns grim when you mention Dravron. That man is an absolute good for nothing. All me and the fellows want to do is good, honest work, but the boss has us sitting on our rear ends most days. Fancy that.
Dravron has sent out a few shipments of lumber, but the tax collector has no records of any sales. Ha!
We have him, Beriathan. Come, let us confront him with this information. If you're prepared, we should leave now.
Armed with the knowledge that Dravron is cheating on his taxes, the Lord Dervorin moves to confront the lumber camp's leader. He does not expect things to turn to violence, but in case they do, he has bid you to join him.
Yeah, I mean, you're a fool for evading your taxes. Not even the Joker evades taxes, so there's that, right? Once we acquire Dravron's ledger, we will be able to prove his misdoings. As acting Lord of the Vale, it is my right to demand it, so I do not anticipate any trouble, but if he should choose to make trouble, I hope you are prepared to fight. Are you ready to go? I am always ready to go. On our left. On our right. Greetings, little lordling. Are you here to conduct business on behalf of your doddering old father? You will respect my father in my presence, Dravron. And the business I conduct is on behalf of all Gondor. The entire kingdom suffers. Many have lost their homes. Yet you sit on the lumber that could be used to rebuild those homes. Which is my right, per the agreement your family made with mine generations ago? Indeed, I have verified your claim for myself. So I will not waste words appealing to your stone heart. But as acting Lord of the Vale, it falls to me to enforce the laws of our land. And to that end, I would see your ledgers, Dravron. My ledgers? Yes, by law you must record any sales you make as well as receipts for any due taxes. Ah, of course, I will have them brought to you. By the end of the day. And give you time to falsify your records? I will have them now, Dravron. It is my right to demand them. Why, you... Ha! Look at him sweat! Though he had the perfect scheme going, thought he had the perfect scheme going. But you got greedy, didn't you, Dravron? You cheat! Silence! You will regret that outburst. You work for me! Not for much longer by the looks of it. My patience wears thin. Grr, men, score the lording off of my land. He will see my books when they are ready and not a moment sooner. And as for you, Dornach, Nathiel, I will teach you the price of your insolence. Oh, will you now? I think not. You would threaten citizens of Gondor? As Lord of the Vale, I cannot stand idly by. You will surrender yourself. Enough! I am master of this land. I need heed no one's sword by my own. No one's word. Alright, this is an instance, so landscape difficulty doesn't apply. So that means we can get a little cocky here. Damn you. Damn you indeed. Peace, my lord. I am Dornach. I am something of a leader here for the workers. Not these brigands that Dravron brought in to mind us. But good folk wish to do their part to see Gondor renewed. I commend you and your people for their bravery, Dornach. Thank you all for your assistance. I think we will have much to discuss in the coming days. What about the ledger? Beriathan, I did not think I would be fighting alongside you so soon. As dire as our situation was during the war, I preferred crossing blades with vicious orcs than my own countrymen twisted by greed and delusions of grandeur, but there is no time to dwell on these things. You must summon the guard and the healers, and I must determine how to proceed with the operation of this lumber camp. Given Dravron's outrageous actions, I have all the justification I need to strip the land from his possession. But I still want to see what he was doing. Dervorin's eyes. I have a long day ahead of me. Now let me know how can I help.
brigands in his employ. Hopefully this spells the end of this sordid affair.
We'll see.
Dravron has been arrested. The lumber camp has been handed over to the laborers.
We know best how to operate it. Now it falls to us to support them as best we can so they can do what they do best for the benefit of all of Gondor. Go speak with Dornach. He has taken charge of the lumber camp. Sure, let me go. Now we have gotten some runes. I think I'm gonna move my rune here. Now we have a tracery. Exemplary evasion. Oh my god, really? And the thing is, I am capped on ancient script. I can't even deconstruct this, but I mean, losing 20 script is really not that bad. And I need the backspace, so. So let us see how this lumber camp goes now. Let's see if we can shed some more light into this.
How may I help you, friend?
Greetings, friend. This camp has languished for too long and there is much to do. Speak with others around the camp and see what they need.
When next you are at Ethring, ask around to see if anyone is interested in earning some coin.
Gondor is hungry for lumber. We will be unable to meet the needs of our neighbors if we do not hire more help. Alright.
I would be grateful if you could discourage the wildlife from approaching us.
In our absence, the Locan wolves have grown bold. I cannot have them harassing my crews while they work. Alrighty.
Catch us more fish to eat, assuming the river favors you.
Ah, if it isn't Dervorin's friend. Thank you for your help during the fight. Are you as good with a rod and reel as you are that weapon of yours? If so, go find Halis at the river just north of here. She says the Ringló is being generous today. Catch us more fish to eat, assuming the river favors you. Alrighty.
Gondor needs your aid.
We will need to fell many of the trees around the camp, but it wouldn't do to strip the forest bare. He hands you a map of the Ringló Vale with a small section of the nearby woods marked off. Explore this area and mark down the locations of any young trees you find. We'll leave them be until they are old enough.
These are troublesome times indeed.
Even in colder times, logging is a dangerous activity. Fueled by the urgency of rebuilding Gondor, I fear the workers will push themselves harder than they should and subject themselves to unnecessary risk. There are herbs in the woods. One helps with pain, the other with bleeding. I fear I will need plenty of both in the weeks to come. If you have time to spare, help me gather some. Alright, plenty of stuff here to do. We can safely ignore all this and let's get going to, well, with the quests that we can complete outside the camp. We'll go back to Ethring to hire the workers in a bit. Here we go. Okay, here we have Alice.
These are troublesome times indeed.
Raha sent me. Did she now? Well, you are to be my helper then. Do you see that sparks in the river? A broken blade is stuck in the riverbed. I think the fish are attracted to it. Aim for that and you'll catch your fill in no time. So that's what I thought. I need to equip my fishing rod. Okay. And I aim for that one. I mean, I think I did a pretty good job at aiming straight line to the blade on the river. And I also think that it's a very clever way of justifying this glint in the water, so that's good too. Alright, caught hearty fish. Which is a quest item, but is of course not starting any other quest for us. No biggie. Two out of 4. Now I also want to check, but let me see if I can catch a fish before I do. Because we've been doing a lot of quests today, and we are doing even more. We might be even able to complete all the quests here in Ringló Vale. And our Explorer deed is still far from complete. Darmatum, Grishru, and the Old Holes. Gotta keep an eye open for that. Oh well, on the other hand, we also have a new season of the reward track, season 8. So well, I'm not claiming any rewards yet. Well, it's just starting, but I need to clear some backspace before I start claiming the rewards. And I also need to spend some of my ancient script and make rooms for more in any case. Now, I'm sure I'm not the only one that has a tune just for the ancient script boxes. But even then, I still need to make some room. I will need to upgrade my allies in no time anyway. Okay, so here is wolf number 1. And here we have wolf number 2. Awesome. I might regret this, but I want to try this out. So, alright, I didn't need Never Surrender there, but I was risking too much, maybe? But yeah, more than 3 guys at the same time seems to be... I mean, 3 seems to be the sweet spot, at least for me right now. I gotta say, so far, I think... I'm having an easier time than I did on Eastern King's Gondor. Or maybe it's just that I am already used to this difficulty, but yeah, I don't feel this is as hard as it was before. And keep in mind, I am relatively underleveled because I have not reforged my allies, but my traceries are pretty good anyway, and maxed almost to... yeah, leveled almost to the max. I think all my traceries are between level 490 and 495, so yeah, that's certainly more than what's needed for this area, it seems. There we go. Now, the wolves. Oh my god. They are still needed for the deed, so we might as well fight some of them. The young tree thinks it knows better than its elders. Oh, youth. Ah, and the other one, the tree is but a babe and has so much of the world to see. Don't take this the wrong way, but this seems like something an elf would say. Oh, for God's sake. Let's see if we can find more of the trees that we need to mark. Stop applying that wound, it's annoying. Please. Christ, I messed up some of my gambits there. This tree doesn't care whether you mark it as safe to fell or not. You mark it anyway. You should care, buddy. Figures, right? I was talking about how the game was too easy for me and then I get killed. I think I should stop saying that kind of things. So let's see. Nothing here that I can see. Now with the crafting revamp, I've been thinking on dropping farmer for prospector, but I haven't done so yet because that would mean I would need to farm my prospector to the Umbar tier, because we still don't have the ability of harvesting all resources regardless of your proficiency, which is a shame, but that's something that I'm also really looking forward to. And if that update by any chance comes before I finish my journeys in Umbar, I will make certain to switch my professions so that I can start harvesting ore. But if I need to level up my prospector tiers in order to get to be able to farm the Umbari ones, then I think I will need to come back for this later. Oh. Wrong place, it seems. Got too far to the south. Okay, herbs, awesome. Here we have some more of those trees as well. Yeah, I don't want to fight you. Don't provoke me, and don't get provoked either. The tree is too young to fell. What about this one? This tree is too young to fell as well. Okay. Ah, here is the last one. Awesome. This lively tree is too young to fell. Yeah, I think that was established already. I need to find these other anodyne herbs. Right, seems we need to cross the river, so maybe this is what will take us to Dormatum and Grishru eventually. Let's try that. Okay. More herbs in here. Five. 6. Here we have 7. And 8. So in the end, no, we didn't need to cross the river all the way through. Sea stones. This is for crafting, right? The new, not the new shards, but for the jeweler, so that you can craft, well, your jewelry, of course, and your hope tokens. So, okay.
Gondor needs your aid.
Nathiel presses their face into the herbs and inhales deeply. After a prolonged sneeze and fit, they accept your offerings with thanks.
How may I help you, friend?
Thank you. You're very much welcome.
Now, how shall I cook them? Maybe I'll fry them with chips. On second thought, a stew will let me make the most of the fish.
Racha applauds you as you lay out your catch. Well done, Beriathan, and such fat ones you brought me. Now, how shall I cook them? Maybe I'll fry them with chips? On second thought, a stew would let me make the most of the fish.
Gondor needs your aid.
I hope your actions have sufficiently dissuaded the Veil Wolves from approaching us. They dismiss you with a nod. Alrighty, so we are only missing the new hires, and we'll need to go back to Ethring for that. And I mean, we would still need a couple more quests before we are done with the area, and hopefully those are the ones that will send us to these extra locations that we still need to complete. Gonna check all that, and I will be back with you on the next episode. For the time being, though, this has been all on today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.